Well, welcome team. We're entering into chapter 19 today, and we're looking at quadratics, which is a big part of the IGCSE curriculum, and it will be something that you continue to work with if you take on senior maths. A quick intro, mainly what we're doing is sketching quadratics today, and just a reminder that when we have a linear equation, it's of this form here, and we know that it will cross it. Let's say this is C, and it will have a straight line, and the gradient will be equal to, every time you go across one, you go up m. So that would be the gradient there. Now, with a quadratic, what you have is something x squared, where a, this could be any constant like -2 or 5 or 1. Okay, so when you have a positive x squared graph or function, you'll get this sort of shape here. Okay, kind of like a valley. So that's in a positive x squared. So you get positive x squared. And then if you did a y equals negative x squared, it would be the mirror image and look like this. Okay, so you get hill for a negative x squared, and you get valley for a positive x squared. Now, there are some things that we can do to transform these graphs. So if I had x squared and then I did, say, +3, what you'll find is, this is my y-axis, I'll have the same shape, but I'll have lifted the graph up by 3. Okay, so that would be an x squared +3. And conversely, if we did x squared -3, I'd have the graph sitting down at -3, and it would look like this. Okay, these are not very well drawn, but it's kind of hard for me to do this on the computer, sorry. But you get the general idea. Now, there's some other things that we can do to transform them, and it can get quite complex. So let's say we have something like this: y equals x squared plus, I don't know, +2x, right? What we can do with this is we can factorize it, and this helps us to see. And then when we go to draw it, we know that it's going to cross here and at -2. Okay, and the way you can tell that is you look at your y and you go, well, along the x-axis, y is equal to 0. How do you make y equal to 0? Well, this could be a 0, so that's this one here. 0 times anything is 0. Or this one here could be a -2, which -2 plus 2 is 0, and 0 times anything is 0. So you get this, in effect. So that would be the shape of that one there. So these ones are a bit more tricky. And then the final type that you can get, let's just move this a little bit up here. The final type that you can get, which is more complex again, and we won't really talk about this type today, is you get something like x squared plus 6x plus 5. And the way we sketch those is we probably want to factorize it, and I could factorize it like this, and you probably won't be so comfortable with doing this at this stage, so don't worry if you can't do that. And then I would sketch it, and I'd say, well, I've got 1 crossing at -1, and 1 over at -5, and my graph would look something like that. And to find out where this bit is, where it crosses the y-axis, well, obviously x is equal to 0 on the y-axis, so you go 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 5, so this must be at 5. Okay, you don't need to stress about this kind at the moment, okay, because it's a little harder than what you've done. before. Okay, so don't worry about that. As long as you understand the general shape that if we've got a positive x squared, we're going to get this shape here, and if we've got a negative x squared, we're going to get a hill shape. That's the basics. Now, let's do a couple of the examples that you have today. Let me move this down a bit. Okay. Now, what they want you to do at first is draw tables. The best way of drawing a table, don't go into the complex nonsense that they've got there. We're just going to go x, and we'll have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll just put in our y values. Now, our equation that we're going to draw, our function is going to be y equals x squared plus 3. Now, when you put a minus x squared into your calculator, if you're going to do it on the calculator, make sure you put brackets around -3. So -3 and then square it, because if you don't do that, you're going to get a negative answer. Your calculator will think that you're squaring 3 and then timesing it by -1. So let's do this. -3 squared is 9 plus 3 is 12. Next one, -2. -2 squared is 4 plus 3 is 7. Next one, -1 squared is 1 plus 3 is 4. 0 squared plus 3 is 3. 1 squared plus 3 is 4. 2 squared is 4 plus 3 is 7. And 3 squared is 9 plus 3 is 12. So let's sketch this. At -3 we've got 12, so I go to -3 and I just pop this in here. -2 we've got 7, which is here. 4, -1 is 4, then we go down to 3 here. And then we've got 1 is 4, and you can see that there's some symmetry about the x-axis, about the y-axis here. So pop that into there, pop this into here, and then now you join it with a smooth curve. It's not meant to look like a rocket. So again, kind of hard on the computer. Whoops. So a nice smooth curve. That last side is not doing so well. Okay, something like that. Now, let's do one more, and I will do... Maybe I'll do 2 more. Next one I'm going to do is y equals -6 minus x squared. And again, we're just going to chuck in those values for x. So x -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we will find out our y values. So -3 squared is 9. So we're going to have, but that would be, in this case, we've got -9, right? So just be careful here. We're putting the -3 into the x value. -3 squared is 9. Then we've got the minus on the outside here, so that's -9. 6 minus 9 is -3. Then we put in the -2. -2 squared is 4. -4, so we times it by -1. 6 minus 4 is 2. Then we chuck in the -1. -1 squared is +1, but we take it away, so we're going to be at 5 here. Then we've got 6 take away 0, which is 6. 6 take away 1 squared is 5, and you can see that we're going to repeat the same thing. 6 take away 4 is 2. 3 squared is 9, and we're taking that away, so -3. So what we're going to have at -3, we're going to have a -3, so it should be here. -2, we've got 2, so it's gone all the way up to here. At -1, we've got 5, which is up here. And then we go to 6, and then it repeats back on the other side, this particular one. And we've got this, and we've got this. So you can see, because it's a negative x squared graph, we've got a hill. Like so. Well, that's not very good. Okay, so that's that one. The last one that I have for you today is number 6. And we've got y is equal to x squared minus 3x. We'll do, again, the same thing. Pop in our table. Let me find our y values. So, minus 3 squared is positive 9. 9 minus 3 times minus 3, I think this is 18. Minus 2. Minus 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 3 times minus 2, 4. So that's, I think that should be 10. Minus 3 times minus 1 is positive 3. So I think this is 4. Then we've got 0. Then we've got 1 take away 3, which is minus 2. Then we've got 4 take away 6, which is minus 2. And then 3 squared is 9, take over 3, so again 0. Okay, so I can't put that first one in, but I can put the second one in, which is 10 at minus 2. So we're here. Then we drop down to 4 there at minus 1. Then we've got a 0 here. And at 1 we're minus 2. And we're also minus 2 here. So obviously the midpoint of those is where the minimum point is. And then we're back there. So it should look something like this. And join those up there. And just as I said right at the beginning with this one, if you factorize it, you can see that you're going to get something at 0 and then something at positive 3. Alright, so that is that. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And if you've got any questions, make sure to chat about it in our Zoom session today. Alright, take care.